What's up? It's your girl, Free the Truth, and you know what time it is. It is time for another Convo Sessions. This is going to be a special interview, especially for Dear Black Men. Please go check out dearblackmen.app. I am out here supporting black men and what y'all say, what y'all think, letting you have that voice because I feel like it's needed. I'm sitting here with a special black man right here, my bro, Ali.
What up?
Yes. I just felt like it was time to have a conversation with you. You do so many things. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess you could be like, I look up to you because you do a lot in the community and I just don't have that time to be as involved as I want, but I'm always supporting as much as possible. So I want to talk about you, what you do in the community, and things that the community needs to be supporting. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm extremely humbled by it. And
You're dope, bro.
Oh, look, praise God, praise God. I'm just thankful of the support, thankful of the team, thankful of the Creator and the ancestors to still be here.
Yes,
and because I know it's not about me.
Right.
You know, I'm the first person to acknowledge that. If there's anything special about me, it's just that I try to be a servant.
Yes.
You know, and I try to just focus on the mission, and that's it. But I don't want it to seem like I'm special or I'm unique or anything like that. I'm just appreciative to still be here.
Yeah.
You know, and to still be having the opportunity to put in work because so many came before us that sacrificed so much, you know, to put us in position to do this. So I'm just thankful.
Absolutely. So you're talking about your missions.
Yeah.
What's on the mission list right now?
The mission, the big mission hasn't changed and it won't change, and it's just a peaceful world.
Okay.
Right? Like I want us all to have a free and peaceful life that's harmonious with the earth.
Okay.
You know, and I'm committed to doing everything I can to bring that about for my children, but for all children. And I think it's attainable. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, we won't see these things for 100 years and things like that. But you can call me naive, you can call me idealistic, but I just think that if we commit ourselves to seeing what we truly want, what we truly deserve, and we can manifest it.
Definitely.
So the mission is 100% liberation. That's what the mission is.
Nice. What else is on the mission?
What else? So that's the big mission.
That's the big one.
That obviously boils down to a lot of different like underlying strategies and tactics and objectives and all that stuff. But it's a lot around economic development, economic empowerment, as we call it. You know, building up businesses, building up institutions, you know, building up entities that we own and control, and that will, you know, in turn provide, you know, those resources right back to us, back to the community. You know, it's a I view it as like a cycle, right? Like you have to have a healthy, thriving businesses to have healthy, thriving community. You know, and that's one of the reasons why our community is suffering so much is because so many of our businesses are not strong. And are not viable, and a lot of the ones that are not circulating, are not community minded, right? So a lot of times we're not hiring from the community, we're not circulating resources back to the community, we're not doing business with those people in the community, you know. So it just takes a shift in our thinking.
What do you think can better help that overall, like just getting more connected?
I think you just said it. And I'm not a finger pointer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I try not to do that, especially in light of everything that's happened to us. But I'll just use myself as an example. As the businesses that I'm involved with, as they grow, as they start to prosper, I don't see that as a win just for me. Right? I don't see that as in this individualistic, capitalistic society about getting the bag and living your best life and stuff like that. That's the kind of messages and the kind of values that we're inundated with. So I think it's easy to be susceptible to that kind of thinking. But that's just not the way I think, and I don't think that that's healthy thinking, especially from a community building and community development standpoint. So as these businesses grow, I'm going to be focused on hiring my own people.
Okay.
Right? Using these businesses as a resource for my own community, and building wealth for the community. So we're looking at things like worker-owned cooperatives, so that we can bring people in and not just hire them and give them a job, which is cool, but also you have a stake in this. You have a piece of ownership in this, and that has been shown to lead to greater wealth building, greater levels of fulfillment, higher levels of democracy, just so many different tangible and intangible benefits when somebody has ownership of something, rather than just, I'm coming, I work for you, you're taking all the profits at the end of the year, that kind of thing. So I just think we have to, when you say connection, I think we have to see it, we have to feel it, we have to really embody it, and really make decisions, active decisions, that show and strengthen our connection as a people and as a community and as a global family. Because as we do that, I think it's something that's going to spread.
Yeah.
Right? Individualism is something that spreads now because that's what we see. It's like, I got the bag, I can build it, this is what I'm doing, that kind of thing. So it's like, okay, he's doing it, I'm going to do the same thing.
Right.
I want the Lexus on 20s. I don't even know if people still stay 20s. But I don't even know if that's a good thing or not. But I don't know why I said 20s. But that's how old I am.
Right.
But back in the day, that's what it was. But anyway,
like
dubs. That's, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? But like that's kind of like the energy now. It's like, okay, they doing it, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to and be about me. And these like material things and stuff that really don't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, I call it like showboating.
Yeah, like I'm stunned on you and this and that, and it's not productive.
Right.
But I think the more that we see people that build, that that establish more connections, that empower others and that support other people, and we help people along, I think the more that we see that, then that message will spread, just like getting the bag and YOLO and what I'm saying, living my best life spread.
Right.
It's just that's just a means of propaganda, and it's a particularly strong one, because if you don't want to see an empowered black community, if you don't want to see black people work together in unity and things like that, then, and there are people that don't, so then those messages get spread and they get pushed from an agenda, right? Because I want to see individualism. I want to see this capitalistic ideology get pushed in the black community, even though it's not natural. So we have to be mindful that those messages are being pushed and that agenda is working against us, and we have to be as deliberate and work as hard and be as intentional to push a narrative that helps us and that builds us, physically, emotionally, spiritually, economically, and on down the line.
Absolutely. Those are all absolutely needed things in the community. So what else is on this mission list?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I'm focused, it's economics.
Yes.
Because because economics is so much at the root of our condition, right? Slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, the burning of Black Wall Street, like all these things, segregation, all these things that were done to us that landed us here in this predicament that we're in, were economically based. Yeah. Majority of them were economically based.
I kind of framed it under financial illiteracy, because we only know how to go get the money. And then that's pretty much where the education stops, and that's just because we haven't had the luxury of having a lifestyle to save and to invest but I feel like we're in this open space where, I mean, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but we have these wonderful tools in our hands.
Absolutely.
With endless ways of learning so many different things.
Absolutely.
And I've been seeing a very great trend last couple years or so, and I'm seeing more and more Black people talk about stocks and investing and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
I have a lot and mixed thoughts on that because and the reason I'll explain is, on one hand, I think that there's a lot of value in it as far as doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't proclaim to be an expert or really know what I'm doing very well.
Right.
But when I saw Tesla, I was like, okay, this looks like it might go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I bought just like 2 or 3 shares. They were $200 a share at the time. Now the thing is $2,000 a share.
Yeah.
So clearly there's potential benefits in it. But I also think that there's benefits in investing in ourselves.
Right.
Investing in our own institutions and investing in our own businesses. So I agree that there's benefits in it, and I think there's something that we really should do. It's a tactic, right? Like, we shouldn't be fooled to think that this is the be-all, end-all. I'm invest in these publicly traded companies or Bitcoin or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But if there's potential in it to gain wealth, to build wealth, to generate additional resources so that we can do what we need to do, then I think it should be on the table.
Yeah.
Right. And just like you said, there are a lot of free resources, a lot of free education. There's a lot of paid education too. And there's people in the community teach this stuff. I paid a brother to teach me how to trade options. There's 2 brothers here locally that do it and are very good at it.
Okay.
So I think, and this is just my own personal perspective on it as of today.
Yes.
August 31st. It might change tomorrow. But I think it's a short-term, we should definitely look at it as a short-term strategy. Right? Like, let's get the knowledge, free or paid or what have you. If you have that kind of interest, if you have that kind of thinking, and you have the resources, because obviously you got to have a little bit of money to trade with.
Right.
If you find yourself in that position, like, let's do it now. Like, let's figure it out. Let's activate in that space so that we can generate the resources and continue to push forward of what we're doing. Because where we're going, when we talk about liberation and we talk about like where this country's headed, we don't know what a stock market is going to look like. Like, this country's falling apart before our eyes. You know what I mean? So we don't know what the future of that is. So we can't put all our eggs in a basket like that. That's what I'm thinking as far as long term. Can't put all of our eggs in a basket like that. But I think it definitely is a viable short term tactic that we can and should employ. I'm doing it, and I know a lot of others are and are doing it very well. And then just on what you mentioned about the resources and the education and things like that. It does take. They are out there, right? And a lot of people, especially in other communities. My next door neighbor is a dirt poor redneck white dude, but he because of their predicament, they have they're living in their home, and they don't pay any mortgage because their parents bought that home at a time when black people couldn't buy homes in Northern Phoenix, right? So he dirt poor, he don't work, but he's got money to invest in the stock market, so he's putting $5 and $10 away for his grandkids in the stock market. Yeah. Right? So but one, he's got a privilege because of his financial situation that most people don't have. Yeah. Right? And then 2, there's clearly a mindset, whether it was somebody that told him about it, some type of education that came to him to do that, and he's in a position to be able to make it happen with even a little bit of disposable income. So many of our people don't have the benefit of having that situation. Yes. Both from a financial standpoint and from an income standpoint, and then from a mindset standpoint. Like, so many of us are just in this survival mode. Exactly. In this traumatic mindset that just pervades every single minute of waking life for us. You know, that we don't have the bandwidth and the faculty to stop and think about, okay, let me put $5 in Ford stock for my grandkids 20 years from now. Like, we're trying to make it through the day. Exactly. So it's really unfortunate. And so yeah, man. It's the we got to push through. Yeah. We got to find a way to push through it. We got to find a way to compartmentalize it so that we can get these things done. But we also got to have grace for ourselves and for each other, because this shit it's not easy.
It's not easy at all. And so, people always say, money isn't everything, and, money can't buy you happiness and all of those things. And I mean, to an extent, I say, yeah, that is true. However, given certain circumstances, money is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if I can have a break from my bills for like a month or two, then that would give me the mindset to sit down and, assess my trauma.
Right. Spot on.
For our community, I feel like the economic approach is definitely the way, because I feel like once we're in a state of where we're feeling like we're not stressed.
Right.
I'm not worried.
Got to have some relief.
Exactly.
It's a conversation, and it's something I ponder a lot, and conversation that I ask a lot of people a lot, because we know, like you just said, it's not the solution. It's not the only thing, but in this society, it's very important.
Yes.
In this system, this capitalistic system we're in, is critical.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know that our spiritual development, the knowledge of self, is even more critical.
Yes.
Right. Like, that's really the critical thing. Once we understand who we are, and how how we can move in this system and snap our fingers and make things happen, that's the real answer.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But is that the as far as the economic piece, is that the chicken or is that the egg? Meaning, is that how can we focus on, is it feasible to focus on this knowledge of self piece when we're still living in this society and we still have to function in this system, right? Like, that's the challenge.
Because I talk about this stuff a lot. Mm-hmm. What I came to kind of like a conclusion on is those types of things, given our position, are luxury items. Where for everyone else, that's just the basic of who they are and where they come from. Like, those things are luxury items for Black Americans, because, like you said, we are in constant survival mode. Yep. We don't even get to process the trauma when it happens. It's just you learn to live with the trauma.
Yep.
So, it's luxury items to be able to identify and know myself and who I am and all. It's a luxury. Yep. So up until we can figure out a way to stabilize our people, those things cannot be of importance to you when you're worried about if your kids are going to be able to eat tonight.
Right.
So, and it's only because I've been in those people's faces, and it's like, I don't care about anything that you're saying right now, because my lights might get cut off tomorrow.
Exactly.
My lights are about to get cut off tomorrow. So if whatever you're talking about, is it going to pay my light bill? Right. Then I can't afford to pay attention.
Right.
So we gotta figure out a way to be able to, like the Black Panther Party,
the survival program. Survival programs pending revolution.
Yes.
That's what the survival programs are all about, and you're absolutely right, and so that's why I feel that those of us who are in a position to do have to do.
Yes.
Like, if you have an ability, you have a responsibility. Mm-hmm. Because so many of our people do not, and the alternative is what? To watch us as we fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
And just point the fingers and say, pull your bootstraps, and you know what I'm saying? If I could, you could. Mm-hmm. Well, they're not.
Yeah.
Right? And we can't judge everybody's situation based off our own.
And that is, when I come in contact with those type of people, because it's like, well, I had to.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, you were supposed to build a bridge so we wouldn't all have to.
Right. And a lot of people burn a bridge.
Because they want you to go through the same struggle that they went through.
Right.
Well, I had to do it.
Right. Or they'll get, a lot of them will get resources, right? And this is speaking more to the institutions and organizations. Yeah. They'll get resources, and those resources are supposed to be going back to the community.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah.
They're getting lost in the fold somewhere.
Right.
Right? So you supposed to build a bridge, or the bridge is already there. You supposed to shrink it, and you knocking the thing off.
Yeah.
And nobody else can get across except you.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of things that have to get addressed, because we know. I mean, it's been proven time and time again.
See, I'm sorry to stop you.
No, it's all good.
But even in those situations, you see that, you know what I mean, money is the motive.
Right. Exactly.
Money is the motive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not gonna funnel out these resources because I want the money.
Yep. That's it.
And it's just like we have to go back to restructuring and stabilizing our people, because people who are traumatized behave in that type of way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
let me grab onto everything that I can grab on because nobody thinks about me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is traumatized, and we don't know how to heal with it.
Yes.
So,
So that has to be part of the mission.
yeah.
That has to be part of the mission. And it's like, what makes it difficult is fighting all these battles, putting all these fires out at once, right? Because like we know the economics is something that we have to pay constant attention to. But like you just said, we have to deal with this healing and this traumatic side and this mental side.
Yes.
Because if we don't deal with that, then as the economy is strengthened and fortified, you might get 2 or 3 people take off with the money.
Right.
Right? If we don't address that, and you still got the
of
individualistic, capitalistic, poison mindset that's gonna make the whole thing fall apart based off just a few people making decisions or making choices that don't benefit the whole.
Right.
So it exposes us to too much risk.
Yeah.
If we don't address it.
Yeah.
So we have to address it.
Have to.
And we have to address the physical health, because what good is it? We're doing all this and then we can't survive.
Yes.
Yes,
it's a. That's why sometimes I just I step away from certain groups.
Yeah.
Because it's just everyone feels like they have the one solution, and to me there is no one solution. There are so many things going on within the layers of the Black community that it's like, pick what you're gonna do and do that, because I'm over here doing this.
Right.
Absolutely. I can't put out all the fires by myself, but you know what? I'm here on Black social justice. I'm here on mental awareness. I'm here on healing. I'm here. These are my fires.
Right.
Which ones are you handling?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just.
And that's the way it should work.
Yes.
That's really the way that it should work. We should be focused on our own assignment, our own lane. That I'm not concerned. Like, I'm not concerned, but I'm not focused on what you're doing. Like, I'm supportive of what you're doing. You need some water out of my bucket. Here you go.
Yes.
If you're even voting, like, I'm not into voting. Mm-hmm. I'm not big on, especially presidential politics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the people who are about voting, cool. You focus on that. If there's something I can elevate, if there's something I can help push, let me know. But don't try to drag me to your lane to get passionate about voting.
No.
I'm not going to try to drag you down the lane to get passionate about separating them from white people.
Right.
I know that's not your bag. You want to stay assimilated. You want to stay integrated. Okay, that's cool.
That's your lane.
Like, that's your lane. That's your position. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I promote it. But as we're over here trying to build a nation, then it's only right that we would expect the same support, or at least the same like positive energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just, in my fantasy world, it's just like I wish there was just some type of way to just organize our nation. You know what I mean? And it's like no one's really trusting of the other one.
Yeah.
No one is really willing to be a part of a team leadership, because people want to be the one,
be the leader. Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And it's like we see that structure has not worked for us.
Right.
Because every time the leader was taken down, we lost the movement.
Yep.
So we know that the one is not the structure in which we should be in.
Right.
We need a team leadership so that whatever happens, we still know what the mission is, and we're still able to move forward with or without this one person.
Absolutely.
So, a lot of egos, a lot of selfishness, And it's like, how do we gather our tribe and say, you know what, we have, I guess the best phrase is like a council of people.
I like that.
You know, and it's like you said, we all have our roles in our sections. So whoever's going to be handling voting and political and all this, okay, we got that person for that.
Right.
Whoever's going to be, you know, I mean, we delegate some roles.
Yeah.
And then that system, then, I don't know, I just have this, you know, fantasy world where we just miraculously unite. And
I don't know about miraculously. I don't know about the term. I was with you until you said miraculously. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle to unite.
How long have we been struggling with this unity?
Yeah.
How long have we been struggling with this unity? And I don't get it, because it's like whatever's happening over there is happening over here.
Yeah.
We're all feeling it. It's not better up north now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
No. It's the same everywhere.
Yeah.
So how come we're just, and I don't even know if you have to answer. Maybe you just want to share your thoughts.
I definitely don't have the answer. I definitely don't have the answer, but I'll say a few things to that.
Okay.
One, I agree with you. Right? It's like Einstein's definition of insanity. It's like doing the same thing over and over again, trying to get different results. Like, we know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Like, why we should just come together, right? But I think there's a couple things that we got to be aware of. Is one, like we already know that we have an enemy in this. Like, unity is logical, right? Us coming together and working together is logical. So to me, anytime something stands in the way of that, anytime something disrupts that, there's a high potential for outside influence. Yeah. Right. So we just gotta be mindful of that. And then two, like you said, the ego part is real. You know, sadly. Because we should be able to look back at, that's what we don't do enough, is look back at history. Yeah. We should be able to look back at history and understand that, one, this ain't got shit to do with us. Right. Like, you want to be a leader for what? Like, it ain't about you, especially right now. And two, like you said, we expose ourselves to too much risk when we have one hero, messianic figure, right? Because that person becomes a target naturally. Yes. And then when that person falls, there's confusion. Yeah. Right. And there's a disruption there. So that's obviously going to be the first play when you have a messianic figure. But the thing that I'll say is that it's happening. Yeah. Right. It definitely isn't happening at the pace that I would like to see it happen. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the creator. So, you know what I mean? A million years is like a blink of an eye. Right. You know what I mean? Like, my 35 years on Earth, I'm like, come on. Right. Like, but I look in the grand scheme of things and the lifespan of this whole universe. I'm like, okay, all right. Maybe we got a little time. We got some. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could wait a couple more days for this thing to really pan out. Like, because again, it's not about me. Yes. Like, if I live to be 100, if it doesn't happen in that span, it's not about me. Yeah. Right. This is a whole global shift. Yeah. That's in the making. Definitely a shift. Yeah. Definitely a shift. But I do try to encourage everyone to take hope in that it is happening. And I don't think it's like I liken a lot of things to nature. It's like a seed growing, right? You don't see what's happening. Right. You know, when that seed breaks, it's painful. And as those roots go down into the earth, we don't see it. Yeah. Right? So I think that's where we are right now as a people. I think, you know, it's a rebirth, right? Our roots are growing. We're forming and norming and storming and doing all those things. And the connections are being made. We're remembering who we are. Right? Because we've forgotten. We've gotten so far off track. And so we're in the process of reconnecting and remembering who and what we are. And as that happens, right, it's still something that you don't see. As that happens, you know, it's like the butterfly, right? And coming from the caterpillar, right? Like, they have to break out of that cocoon or that chrysalis, and it's like a process of like really pushing, right? And it's painful, but in the process of pushing out, it's strengthening its wings.
Yeah.
Right. And this is something I've been on for a while now, just thinking about that whole process of transformation. Right. Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way you could tell me what we're going through isn't forcing us to transform.
Man.
Right. There's no way you can tell me
if
that
you
this
have not felt the need to transform, like
right, like it's
you're
like
missing out right now.
Right? right, like you're missing the whole cookie. If you just sit there whole like, woe is me, no, please don't. You'll go crazy,
man.
You'll literally go crazy, right?
But
so we have to understand the lesson and have to understand what's really going on right now, right? It's just a process of transformation. It's a process of rebirth. And so as we push, as we struggle, as we strain, as we do it together, you know what I'm saying, we strengthen our wings, right? We strengthen ourselves. We plant those roots deep so that when it is time to emerge, right, we're unified,
yes.
right? We're beautiful. We know who we are, and we can spread that message and spread that light throughout the entire world.
Dope.
Right? So that's what we're called to do, right? We're the first people that, like, nobody talks about that.
Yeah.
Right? We were the first people on this planet, right? And so we have a responsibility to restore balance to this planet.
Look,
right? We're the mothers and fathers of civilization.
People have not paid attention to world history.
Right.
Nature always restores its balance.
Always.
One way.
Always. Look,
or another.
I was cracking up because people are like, man, we got to save the planet. The planet going to be fine. Planet going to be, this planet going to go nowhere. You save your damn self. You got to save yourself because this planet about to be like, you purge all y'all. Purge all y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, but I do strongly feel, and because I see it. Right, I'm a part of some of these conversations. I see the connection being made. I see the egos falling away and people like coming together and saying, "Okay, we got to be about this work."
Yes,
and not in a selfish way, not about limelight, not about money.
Yeah, because it got real out here.
It got really real out here.
It got real out here.
Yep.
I made a post the other day. Got a caterpillar before you butterfly.
You got to.
Before we get too late into the show. I want to talk about the things that you are involved in.
Sure.
Things that people should know.
Sure.
And what should people, especially people in Phoenix, what should they be supporting? Quick rundown.
Okay, quick rundown. So what I'm involved in is a couple of different things. From just segueing in from that last conversation of like people connecting, people putting in work. So the organization, I encourage everybody to join the organization. This was like part.
Yeah.
The third question that you asked.
Yes.
What should people be supporting? So I encourage everyone, every single person that's black.
Yes. Especially
folks that's black, to join an organization, join a tribe, join, like you said, join some group that's working.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's your family.
Yeah.
Like, people, we got to get organized, right? Somebody sent me a video the other day that was beautiful. It was like the death of black individualism. It said by the end of 2020, everybody should be in an organization. You should be on a roll. You should be hopefully a dues paying member if you can, or giving time, giving prayers, giving positive. And you should be affiliated with some organization that's building and working on the behalf of our people.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's one thing. So the organization I'm a part of is Phoenix Local Organizing Committee for Justice or Else. Right. It's a non-religious, everything. We just black people that are working.
Yes.
That's all we are.
Yes.
And we're passionate and we're committed, and I'll be the first to tell you, we don't get everything right. We're not perfect. We're not trying to be perfect.
Right.
But we love our people unconditionally.
Definitely.
Right. And we sacrifice day in and day out to do this work. So we're one organization, but there are a number of great organizations. BPOC, BLM Phoenix Metro, who else? Drinking Gourd. I mean, they focus on farming, but Drinking Gourd is a good org.
That's necessary.
That's absolutely necessary. Mass Liberation AZ. Like, there's a number of organizations that are here. Base AZ, they are in the East Valley, a newer group. I mean, and even Urban League Young Professionals, and even like NAACP or Urban League, if that's your jam, like if you want to be down with them,
he said that's
cool.
Your jam.
Like get with them, but hold people accountable.
Yeah,
right. Don't
definitely.
just get in there and sit in the room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be active. So that's part 3 of what you should support. And I'll come back and follow up on that. But so that's what I'm involved in, is the organization. And then Archwood Exchange. We on hiatus right now because we're not doing our events, but we're a promoter of Black businesses. We hold a community and business building space, formally every first Saturday of the month, and futurely every first Saturday of the month. We just are on hiatus, but check us out, Archwood Exchange. Grassroots Bookstore, which is where we're sitting right now, is temporarily closed, but the site is open, so you can order books online. We're organizing some book clubs and community readings and things like that, so you can definitely tap in with us there. Straw and Wool, I won't go down the full list because it's...
Go ahead, give everybody
Straw and Wool, Straw and Wool on Instagram, Facebook. That's a new hat store that some partners just opened. Look, shout out to my wife. She's got a business called Brownstone Spa, also on hiatus as far as services, but she's selling products, and she can do skin consultations, get your skin right and all that stuff. So Brownstone Spa. What else? That's pretty much it as far as like the things that I'm involved in per se. And then what was the other one? What to support?
Yeah.
Just support Black people.
Rooting for everybody Black.
You know what I'm saying? Just, but I think the organization piece is so critical because where we are right now, we're I hate to say that we're at a disadvantage because we are at a disadvantage, but we're strategically positioned to win. We're strategically positioned to empower ourselves and to accomplish the goal that we all want to see. But we have to, people got to play a role. We have to get organized. We have to get activated right now. The iron is hot. This is our time to rise. This is our time to really build. But we have to see it. We have to know it. We have to believe it, and we have to act on it.
Yes.
Right? It's not going to be, nobody's saying it's going to be easy, but it'll definitely be much better than what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Right? And there'll be sacrifices that we'll have to make, but it'll definitely be better than making the sacrifices that we're making right now, just sitting around and suffering, right? At least we'll be able to make an active decision to sacrifice for the benefit of ourselves, for the benefit of each other, and for the benefit of future generations, rather than sitting around potentially getting picked off because you go to a protest, or sitting around and this crazy virus running rampant in our community. So I just think that we need to support those who are really about working, who are really about building.
Definitely.
Right? And in whatever way that you can. Like we said, money's important, but money's not the only thing.
Yeah.
People can put their hands in the soil.
A lot of these organizations need volunteers.
Volunteers, prayers, make a phone call, answer an email.
A lot of them just want you to show up.
Yeah, just show up. Look, we need somebody to run our social media. We're blessed because we got people who are wanting to be involved. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? But we need people to help us with some of the ancillary things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, we're not the only one that's out here building. So I encourage it. That's a group that I'm with. So I firmly believe in it, obviously.
Definitely.
But if it's not your thing, then don't let that be the reason why you don't get involved in nothing.
Right.
I don't want to be a part of that. Then I'm gonna go sit back on the couch. No, you can be involved. Or, I'm not a big proponent of it because there's so many. But start something new. There's no rules that say you can't start another organization. There's some young people that did it. It's a protest organization, but they saw a need. They saw missing a lane that wasn't being filled, so they did it. So that's always an option too.
So let the people know where they can find you and how they can connect if they're trying to figure out some more of what you're up to on your mission list.
Yeah. So all the pages, all the ventures and projects that I mentioned, Grassroots Bookstore, they're all on Instagram. So Grassroots with a Z, bookstore, and then Archwood Exchange, Phoenix Cash Mob. That's an initiative of Phoenix LLC. Oh, I didn't mention the Waking Giant. The Waking Giant is on Instagram. That's a media company that we're building.
Okay.
PHX LLC, or Phoenix Local Organizing Committee, on Facebook. And then mine is Big Bro Ali with an underscore.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, I created Dear Black Men because I believe in the black man's voice. So, just leave us with some final words to keep the people motivated and encouraged.
Family, this is our time. If I know anything, I know that this is our time. And just like that butterfly that's in the cocoon and strengthening its wings, getting ready to fly, that's where we are, right? And we have to be preparing. We have to be mindful. We have to push through. And it's only logical. Remember this. It's only logical that the opposition is going to come, right? Because the forces of darkness, the enemy, those who thrive in status quo, the devil, whatever you want to call them, right? They don't want to see free and liberated people. Mm-hmm. They don't want to see a free and liberated world, right? And we have the power to bring that about, right? So we have to understand that the opposition is going to come, the challenges are going to come, difficulty is going to come. We just got to accept it, right? And this may only be the beginning, right? It may get much, much worse. But on the other side of that, right? On the other side of that is destiny, right? So we should run to opposition. We should run to challenges. We should run head first into fear, right? Because we know deep down that it's not real, right? It's all distractions. It's all lower energy that's meant to keep us from our destiny. And so if we push through and we work together and we love on each other and we support each other, then we'll see that goal in our lifetime. Forget what you heard, and our children will see it, more importantly, and they deserve it. So.
All right. Thank you for sitting down with me, bro.
No, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
It's
Look,
your
now
girl.
I gotta run for my wife beat me up.
He about to get beat up by his girl. It's your girl, Free the Truth. You already know where you can find me. All platforms. Free the Truth. PHREETHA Truth. Of course, you can go to my website, freethetruth.com. And please go check out dearblackmen.app. Holla.